Do you like wrestling trivia? Then check out the 5-Star Match Game, the Pro Wrestling Quiz Show. I'm Joe Gagney, and every episode, I grill 3 contestants with 5 rounds of power-packed wrestling trivia. We have over 30 evergreen episodes in the archives covering WWE, AEW, Japan, Mexico, and much, 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 much more. Play along at home and check it out today.
When you golf in Missouri, the courses are so close, you'll spend more time on the fairway than the freeway. Reserve a tee time at the Regal Osage National, designed by the king himself, Arnold Palmer. Take a cart ride on the wild side in the breathtaking surrounds of Paynes Valley, designed by Tiger Woods. And after the back nine, there's still world-class dining and distilleries, shops and spas, museums, and more. Find your new golf MO in Missouri. Start planning your golf getaway at visitmo.com.
Running a business can be exhausting. Building your website shouldn't be. With Wix, you can express your ideas, give direction, then leave the heavy lifting to AI. From site creation to branded content and images. Have fun with the details. Customize what you want the way you want. And manage your whole business from a centralized dashboard with expert AI tools. Build, scale, and enjoy the incredible results. You can do it all yourself on Wix.
Ay, mi bebé ya se va a la uni. ¿Ya tienes todo listo?
Sí, bueno, solo me falta una lámpara, el escritorio, un lugar para todos mis libros.
¿Vamos a IKEA?
¡Vamos a IKEA!
IKEA te ayuda a crear tu espacio ideal para la uni, en casa o en el campus. Visita la tienda o ikea-usa.com/universidad y compra muebles o accesorios a tu estilo, a precios accesibles y con la conveniencia de recoger tus compras o recibirlas a domicilio. IKEA está para ti donde, cómo y cuando quieras.
This podcast is a member of the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. Visit voicesofwrestling.com to hear the rest of our great podcasts, as well as show reviews, columns, opinions, and updates across the world of wrestling.
Welcome to Jumping Bomb Audio.
Everyone, and welcome back to Jumping Bomb Audio, the #1 show all about the world of Joshi Pro Wrestling. My name is Taylor, and I am joined, as always, by my good friend and co-host, Kelly. Kelly, is it hot where you are?
Oh, it's real spicy over here. We're at 94 degrees. It's humid as fuck. Sucks real bad. How about by you?
It is currently 88 degrees, although on Tuesday it will be 100 degrees. So, for those of you who don't know, a little inside baseball, when I record these episodes, I have to turn off my air conditioner. So the back half of this episode, I may be very sweaty.
Yeah, and that's we all understand.
But I am dedicated to giving the listeners the best audio possible.
Speaking of best audio, Taylor, yes. I've been thinking, I have a question. This just came to mind while I was doing some laundry this morning. If you were an Oompa Loompa and you had to come up with your death trap for children to get your promotion, what would yours be?
Now it has to be candy related, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I tell you what mine is to give you time to think?
Sure.
Okay, so mine is it's a gum, like Willy Wonka will be like, oh, this gum tastes like dreams, but it's not tested, so don't try it. And then when inevitably the child tries it, every time they chew, it expands and eventually just becomes their entire being. And he goes, oh, didn't you know dreams can also be nightmares? And then the Oompa Loompas just pick them up and take them away, never to be seen again.
Now, that's interesting. I have not developed a catchphrase at the end.
Well, because I was thinking they need to prep him a whole script and stuff.
Sure. It's funny because I was also thinking gum, but I was thinking almost the opposite of you.
Oh.
Which is that it would be a gum where you can blow a bubble so big that you can go into the bubble.
Okay.
Except then when the bubble pops, it implodes and kills you.
I like that.
So you would just sort of, not to be so crass, but sort of like I imagine the people on the Titan submarine happened to them.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Sort of like instantaneous implosion. Although the problem there is that I think most of the Willy Wonka traps, you sort of do need to have that moment of like, oh God, something's going wrong. And with this, you wouldn't really have that because it would sort of be instantaneous.
I do like the idea of it's like almost a localized black hole.
Yeah. Well, and then there's no cleanup because it just implodes and then it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
So easier for the Oompa Loompas, but then they don't really have anything to do while they're singing the song.
Yeah.
So needs some work.
I think we can get there. We can workshop it.
Anyway, let's talk about Joshi as I already begin to heat up in my apartment. But before we talk about Joshi, let's do the plugs. You can follow us on Blue Sky at JBomb Audio. You can follow Kelly at Comic Geek Kelly. You can follow me at Taymambo. Subscribe to us on your podcast app of choice. And if that app of choice is Apple Podcasts, we would really appreciate a 5-star rating and review. And if you're feeling extra generous, you can donate to the show at redcircle.com/shows/jumping-bomb-audio. So let's get into it. The big show just happened yesterday. Stardom, the Conversion 2025 from Yoyogi National Stadium Gymnasium number 2 in front of 2,521 fans. Kelly, were you converted?
I was so converted. I was converted from someone that was a little sleepy into someone that was standing and pacing in the den.
It was I felt like a pretty breezy show.
Yes.
I think a lot of it sort of was unmemorable, but not in a bad way.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the matches sort of happened. I was like, yes, that was good. And then the top matches delivered.
They sure did.
Sort of what you want to have happen. I guess I would rather have very good main event matches than have a bunch of matches that are all fine.
Yeah.
Or you know what I mean. Like, I would rather have a bunch of 2.5-star matches and then very good matches rather than a bunch of 3 and 1/4 matches the whole time. That's what I mean.
As long as you finish strong, for the most part, I'm happy.
Finish strong. Just like in a match, finish strong, finish the show strong. But how did the show start? Well, great question. A pre-show singles match between Waka Tsukiyama defeating Yuri Ahime in 9 minutes and 17 seconds. Kelly, I imagine you did not watch this.
No, I actually meant to go back and rewatch it or watch it and then completely forgot about it until just this second.
I also didn't watch it, so there you go. Moving on.
I bet it was great.
The first match proper was for the Future of Stardom title. Hina, the champion, defeating Rion in 12 minutes and 33 seconds. Thought this was a fun little match. Really enjoyed it. I liked Hina's wrist clutch backbreaker and bit a little bit on the near fall of the reversal of the pin after the jackhammer.
Yeah.
That I thought was very good. So I went 3 3/4. I thought it was a very good match and a very good start to the show.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was. I was at 3 3/4 as well. This really kind of took me by surprise. Because, I don't know, Rion has never really made any kind of impression on me in the past, and I thought she was great here. Just worked her ass off, and I thought Hina, who is another person who's never really been someone I've been excited about, or I've never disliked either. It's just kind of like, she's there. I feel like this title run has given her a level of confidence that she really kind of needs and comes off really well as a champion. So I thought they both worked really hard, had a great match, and it was an awesome opener.
Yeah, it went 12 minutes and 33 seconds, but I'm sort of surprised to see that length because it seems longer than I would have guessed it was.
Didn't feel like that at all.
Yeah, I thought they used the time well. So a good start. Another Stardom show with a good start. They are very good at putting a match on first that will sort of get the crowd into it, or at least get me into it. I'll say. So good match. Recommend you check that out. Did you say 3 3/4, Kelly?
Yep.
Did I
sure
that?
did.
Okay. That's what I thought. The next match was a 6-person tag team match. Yuna Mizumori, Aya Sakura, and Sayaka Kurara defeating Emma Mashima, Kikyo Furusawa, and Momo Kogo. I always have new names to say that really give me a challenge. In 8 minutes and 47 seconds. Kelly, what did you think of this one?
I watched it and went to go type out some notes, and I was like, damn, I have no thoughts about this match in anything. Like, I don't think it was good. I don't think it was bad. I just slapped 2 stars on it and went on with my day.
I also thought not too much stuck out. There was only one moment that I remembered, and I don't remember who she hit it on, but there was a moment when Yuna was going for a sliding lariat, and whoever she was hitting with it was not in place in time. So she sort of ran up, had to stop, and then hit the move, and it looked worse, sort of stopping and going again, than if you just did it in one flowing motion. So I was like, oh, that's sort of interesting from someone not being in place to the move looks better now. So that was literally my only thought. I thought it was solid otherwise, but didn't really have anything else to say. After the match, they announced of course, 5-star Grand Prix is coming up. No participants announced yet, but that will be coming up. It's that time of year. We'll be talking the 5-star Grand Prix. We'll be talking all the summer tournaments are all firing up now and are all going to happen at the same exact time.
Why? Why did they do this?
That will be something. The next match, a tag team match, the Hate duo of Natsuko Tora and Ruaka defeating FWC, Hazuki, and Koguma in 9 minutes and 59 seconds. Was it just the camera? I think it was just the camera angle, but when Hazuki went for that first dive, it felt like everyone moved and she just dove into nothingness.
Yes, she ate shit real bad. But that was the plan. Like, they moved out of the way.
But I couldn't tell, did the rookies then catch her? Or did she just dive into nothing?
She just dove into nothing, and it looked like it sucked real bad.
Okay, because that's what I thought, and then they cut back, and I don't remember who was sitting there, and I was like, oh, maybe someone caught her, because it looked like she just ate shit.
Yeah, I didn't see anybody catch her. That's like the one thing from the match that I really remember where it was just like, oh, God.
Yeah, that was the thing. Other than that, I thought this was fine. I am a broken record saying I have no use for non-Saya hate. Although I will say I do think Ruaka has now passed Natsuko Tora in skill.
Yes, I've been saying that for a little while now. I completely agree. She has just flown past Tora.
Tora looks good doing one thing and one thing only, and that's doing shoot planches on people.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I think I could also do that when you're like, just jump up and land on this person as hard as you can. I'm like, well, I think I could do that. Other than that, who cares?
Yeah, I thought this sucked. I think FWC deserves a lot better than this. I thought Koguma getting pulled up by Ruaka for the finish and then getting hit again for the actual finish was just like so far beneath Koguma. I kind of found it like insulting a bit. I don't know. I thought this sucked. I went a 1.5 stars.
The next match was a special singles match. Risa Sera defeating Hanako in 14 minutes and 54 seconds. Kelly, interested your thoughts on this one?
I felt this got the show back on track after one unnoteworthy match and then one bad match. I thought it was a little bit longer than I felt like it should have been, but it was a good, solid hoss fight. I had completely forgotten that Hanako started her career in prominence and used to go by the name, Fellow Risa. So like that was, once they kind of brought that up, I was like, oh yeah, she did do that. And I looked up on Cage Match, and yeah, her first match was a singles match against Risa Sera. So this was kind of a cool full circle moment as Risa Sera wraps up her career. I enjoyed this quite a bit. I went 3.5.
I was below you. I thought that this was competently worked, but never grabbed me. The only time I was really interested is there were multiple times when Risa would like pull back, and I was like, oh my God, she's going to do a shoot headbutt right now. And then she would just sort of like do a forearm, and I was like, oh. And it was just all this wind up that I'm like, oh, here we go. Oh, it's a forearm. Yeah, fine. Really, 15 minutes of this is not all that thrilling to me.
Yeah, it should have been shorter.
Nice to have that little full circle moment, but other than that, I'm sort of like, whatever. The next match was an 8-person tag team match. Momo Watanabe, Rina, Saya Kamatani, and Konami defeating the returning Amisore, Kyoko Kotatsu, Lady C, and Rani Yagami in 16 minutes and 29 seconds. We'll never get used to saying Kyoko Kotatsu.
Nope.
Ever. Welcome back, Amisore. Eat shit. Losing the match. Glad she didn't join Hate in the middle of the match. That was a good sign. But this was a Hate match. They have too much BS in them.
Yeah.
Even though this is sort of like the grouping I like most.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still sort of like, this is not when you're doing, oh, people are running. There's boxes. I'm like, how many of these can we possibly see? Like on the mid-card of a big show where you're like, it's the same match.
I thought this was like a very bizarre match because to me, the clear story of it was that Hate is a well-oiled machine and God's Eye is like a bunch of goobers that can't get on the same page and kept hitting each other. And then it's like, okay, this is Amisore's return match, so let's have her get implicated in a blackface scandal and get pinned. It's just strange all around. I don't get it, but all right, fine. It's another Hate match. Great. 3.25.
A lot of weird things going on with God's Eye where I'm just sort of like, this is a strange, like, Amisore coming back, she gets pinned.
Yeah.
Like, Maya Fukuda, Kyoko Kotatsu, has sort of, like, arrived and seemingly, at least to me, made no impression of any sort.
I constantly forget she's there until she's on the screen, and then my first response is, who's that? And then I'm like, oh, yeah, it's Maya Fukuda. And then I see the name. I'm like, oh, no, it's not. Oh, wait, no, it is her. Okay.
Like, Lady C is Lady C, sort of just like wandering the earth.
Yeah.
Doing whatever. Like, Rana is sort of like, oh, this is someone good. But you're like, this is just such a weird unit of people who feel like they just don't have anywhere else to be.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, oh yeah, we'll be in this unit, sure. Okay. It also is one of those things where they're like, we're hitting each other. Oh no. Like clearly was building to like, Ami, join hate.
Yeah.
Because then she's like, no, I don't want to. And it's like, oh, okay. Then our miscommunications will all cease. Yep. And we won't miscommunicate the rest of the match. I don't know, just a weird. It felt like something where you're like, well, let's just put all these people in the match, but we need something that's interesting to happen. What if it was, she might turn randomly? Okay, like that's the thing of the match.
And then the dumbass babyface trope of, I have this chair that they want me to hit my friend with. I'm just gonna throw it away instead of using it on the bad guys.
Oh, yeah. Well, it looked like she was going to hit someone, and then I was like, oh, no, you just threw it away.
Yeah.
Randomly.
You stupid idiot.
So, yeah, not recommended. That's going to end every match we review now. It's either recommended or not recommended. Then we got to, I guess you would call it the business end of the card, as we had the Goddesses of Stardom title match, Hanan and Saida Wingori retaining their titles, defeating Natsupoi and Saori Ano in 17 minutes and 8 seconds. Kelly, you first.
I thought this was awesome. They moved so fast through this whole match, just going a mile a minute the whole time. And it was like really evenly matched. So, it was just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Who the hell's going to win? And I love that Wingori won, because I feel like the easy choice would have been to belt up Natsupoi and Saori following their incredibly successful produce show. But I think this is the right move in the long run, because getting a win like this does a lot to legitimize Wingori as champions. So I was incredibly happy to see them win. I thought this was a tremendous match. I went 4.25. Recommended.
I went 4 stars. Uh-oh. You okay?
I dropped my phone.
Oh, no. I was like, oh, my God.
I passed out.
The recommended machine broke. One episode in. I also thought this was great. Really loved it. Loved the mid-match slap fight between Natsupoi and Hanan. Thought that was great. My major thought, this is a bit of a repeat as always, but is Saida one of the most underrated wrestlers in all of Joshi?
Absolutely.
I think that the standard now is underrated means sort of underpushed, and she is tag champions, and they did just win a big match. But no one ever talks about her.
No, and I would still say underpushed, because this is the first time she's gotten a chance at a title, pretty much ever.
Because she's so good. I mean, everyone in this match was really good, but it always sticks out to me. She's so good. She's got charisma. She's undersized, which I understand where you're like, well, she's so small. How much can we really push her? But she's got so much charisma. She works really well. This was great. Great action between two really good teams. My one complaint is Wingori one of those monkeys on their Jumbotron. Is that AI?
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Big AI monkey.
I guess I don't really notice it because I didn't notice it. I only noticed it once they won and it popped up. They have the little cartoon logo, but then it was like, oh, that monkey looks like
they have AI. Multiple AI monkeys that they use in their videos.
And I was like, oh boy. Anyway, I went 4 stars. Thought the match was really great. Hit the recommended machine.
Yep.
Recommended. Yeah, and I'm really happy to see Wingori retain the titles because I think they've had a great run, and I think they should be rewarded with a lengthy run because I think they can have good matches with a lot of teams.
Mm-hmm.
And excited to see what they continue doing with the titles moving forward. The Semi-main event was a no disqualification 8-person tag team match between the Mi Vida Loca team of Akira Kuragane, Itsuki Aoki, Rina Yamashita, and Suzu Suzuki, facing off and defeating the Neo Genesis quartet of Azumi, Mei Sierra, Miyu Amasaki, and Starlight Kid in 22 minutes and 44 seconds. The big news out of this one is Bozilla.
Bozilla
is in Stardom. Kelly, I was thinking, is this the biggest in-ring jump debut in like decades?
I have in my notes a question asking, is Bozilla the Cody Rhodes of Stardom and Marigold?
Wow. I was just thinking, because obviously like Mayu going to Marigold is big, but that was known. She did it as a press conference, like someone showing up in the ring and being like, whoop, it's me.
Yep. And this is the first big jump the other way.
This combined with some stuff in the main event, I was like, wow, they just fully used it. And then we're like, whoop, this is ours. I thought the in-ring was mostly fine, but it sort of, the minute like Bozilla showed up, it was sort of like, who really cares about this match?
This was far more effective as an angle than as a match, I think.
It's sort of like, why did they do a no disqualification match that had very little like I was like, oh, a no disqualification match, and that mostly meant let's pile chairs in the ring and sort of suplex each other on them.
It was pretty much just to have the Bozilla debut, so they wouldn't have to have the referee down or whatever.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, the reason they did this is so Bozilla could show up and wander around and hit a crazy power bomb.
Yeah.
On Starlight Kid. So I thought as a match, it was fine. I thought as a debut, as an angle, it was super effective.
Yep.
Super exciting. Bozilla calling out Starlight Kid after the match. Feels like a big deal and feels... I'm very interested to see how this works because it will be Bozilla booked not by Rossi.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, if Rossi was still booking, I'm like, okay, this person is going to come in. They're going to challenge for a title. They're not going to win. It's the Rossi format of, you know, the Gaijin challenger of the month. Not in Stardom. I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen in Stardom.
She has a real good shot at winning that title.
She has a good shot of winning that title. I'm interested. You know, there's so much sort of beyond the bounds of Joshi that also makes this interesting as, you know, Marigold originally conceived sort of as this like WWE pipeline sort of thing, which we saw with Julia, but I think Julia would have gone to WWE even if Marigold never existed.
Yeah.
To see someone go the other way, and is it a question of, oh, Bozilla, you know, wants to get into AEW, you know, seeing the way that Mariah May did, who then, you know, moved on to WWE. What's her name? Blake Monroe?
Blake Monroe.
Wow. I can't believe I got that out of my head.
When you golf in Missouri, the courses are so close, you'll spend more time on the fairway than the freeway. Reserve a tee time at the Regal Osage National, designed by the king himself, Arnold Palmer. Take a cart ride on the wild side in the breathtaking surrounds of Paynes Valley, designed by Tiger Woods. And after the back nine, there's still world-class dining and distilleries, shops and spas, museums, and more. Find your new golf MO in Missouri. Start planning your golf getaway at visitmo.com.
So it's just interesting also in that outer world of like, what does going from Marigold to Stardom mean? What does being in Marigold actually mean for a Gaijin wrestler? It's possible now it means nothing, and that she went thinking, oh, I'll be able to get in WWE, and WWE's like, we don't care about you. Like,
why do we need you? We've got the real deal Zeta Steel.
Yes, and we've got Dewdrop. Is that her name? Dewdrop?
I don't know. Does she still go by that?
Don't know. Couldn't say.
We've got this woman that's going to destroy Charlotte Flair's knees.
But yes, all very interesting, but I thought was played perfectly well. Probably the only flaw was it did take Bozilla a very long time to take her mask and hood off. Like, she's like, mask off. Okay, untie my strings of my hoodie. Whoop. I was like, okay, could have done that maybe a little bit faster. But I thought it was great. Great angle. You know, something to talk about after the show beyond sort of just, hey, this match was really great. So I thought very well played.
And totally unexpected, because I figured that Bozilla would just show back up in Marigold at some point.
Well, yeah, and these things, as I said, it's like people showing up in ring. I mean, I know Stardom's had a few, but like, it doesn't happen that much. Usually it's like, hey, I'm leaving and I'm going to Stardom. Okay, well, you'll debut now. Like, someone just showing up in the ring is exciting.
Yeah. No, this was awesome. I'm excited to see if we get more jumps.
Jump. Angle recommended. And then the main event, the IWGP Women's Title match, Seri defeating Syuri in 32 minutes and 49 seconds to win the title. Syuri falls on her second challenge. She defeated Alex Windsor and loses the title here. Kelly, I will let you go first.
What a fucking match. This was an all-timer. I absolutely loved it. They went out there and killed each other. Just crazy strikes, crazy head drops. I thought it was a really well done, like, technical brawl, because, you know, just they would swap back and forth between just beating the hell out of each other and trading holds. And I loved how the through line was Sari attacking Syuri's legs whenever she was in trouble, and eventually that paid off, and Syuri not having the leg strength to fight off of the suplexes that eventually put her away. Just really imagine not thinking that Sari is the best wrestler under 30 years old. Couldn't be me. This is my match of the year. I went 5 stars. Recommended.
Yeah, I was with you. 5 stars as well. The things I really liked were it was a lot based around, as you said, submission work, but it didn't feel like the same. Like, sometimes you can get in submission matches where it's like, my submission move is this.
Yeah.
You know, X. My submission move is Y. And when we go into submission, those are the only submissions we do. So it's like, oh, she's back in the figure 4. I don't know. I'm making it up, but this was like, okay, it's in this, you know, it's a leg lock, or now it's something different. It's an arm bar. It's now, you know, it wasn't just, you know, Syuri going to the arm bar, but then going to the, I don't know what you call it when you sit on them and you pull their arm. What's that called?
Is that,
you know, like the Nagata lock.
Yeah.
Like, it was
like a modified Fujiwara?
Yeah, it was different moves, so it wasn't just like, oh, and we're back in the same submission. It was like, okay, this didn't work, so now I'm going to try this variation of it. I thought that was really good. Obviously, super hard hitting. I think Seri, this is a compliment, although it's going to sound like I'm not really complimenting her. She shows, like, in matches, progressive damage, I think, very well, because her hair gets wet.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
she's a good sweater.
She, like, sweats a lot, and her hair sort of falls in her face in a way that you're like, oh, she's, like, going through it. Like, she's really tired in a way that I guess it is a compliment, but it's not. I don't know if it's something she controls or she's like, okay, you know, I do my hair this way to whatever. I thought that was really good. I mean, the suplexes at the end with Syuri getting dropped on her head like 6 times in a row were crazy. I mean, crazy that they're like doing shoot headbutts, and I wasn't like, that's the craziest part of the match.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, I can't believe they did that. Just super well worked. I mean, if you like the first one, you'll like this one. 2 great matches. When you get up that high, you're like 5-star. You're just like, just watch it. Just like go watch it. Highly recommended.
There we go. Highly recommended.
There we go.
Must
Highly
watch.
And fascinating, as I was saying before, the Bozilla debut and now Seri on top. I guess quote unquote on top. I guess the IWGP Women's title is not the top title, but Seri winning a big title at the end of the show that Bozilla's on is sort of like, all the things that Marigold did right.
Yeah.
Have now just moved over to Stardom.
Yeah, they traded Mayu for Sari and Bozilla.
Which pretty good for Stardom.
Yeah, I'd make that trade.
Yeah, I would as well. But just a super match. Sari is great, as many people will say, as Kelly said, but Suri, another great match. I was also thinking, everyone talks about UWF, like Suri should, not should, but she does these UWF matches. I'm like, she's better in this format. Just let her wrestle and don't worry about UWF stuff. But highly recommended. Check it out. A great end to the show. A great capper to a show that really ended very strongly. As you probably heard, the middle was fine, but a 4-star match, a killer angle. I mean, I'm trying to think, what was the last angle that was like, whoa, in Stardom? Probably Hate forming, I guess.
Yeah, probably.
I guess it would be. And then match of the year candidate, if not a, match of the year lock, will certainly be near the top. 2 5s from Kelly and I. So, certainly if not number 1, will be very high up.
We're going to have to campaign for this one, I think.
All right. So that was Stardom, the conversion. What else happened in the last 2 weeks of Joshi? Marigold had a Korakuen Hall show on June 17th. That had a tag title match on it. Magenta retaining the tag titles against Chanyota and Mai Sakurai. They also announced 15 of the 16 participants in the Dream Star GP that is coming up in August. The 16th will be determined by a gauntlet match, which we'll talk about in a second. I have to say, and Kelly, I don't think you watched the announcement video, they decided to do it with this incredibly annoying noise between every person. It was like this sort of metallic presentation, and then sort of like the screen would open up to reveal the next participant. But it was like the sound of like a shovel going across concrete.
Okay.
So it was like Mayu Iwatani. And I was like, stop doing that.
Yeah.
Stop doing it. Stop that. It was horribly annoying. But anyway, the 15 of the 16 participants are Mayu Iwatani, Tommy, Mai Sakurai, Mirai, Miko Aino, Kyoki Amare, Victoria Yuzuki, Seri Yamaoka, Natsumi Shozuki, Chika Goto, Kazuna Tanaka, Nagisa Nosaki, Chiaki, Misa Matsui, and Chanyota. Some interesting matchups there, and some just very scary matchups in there.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of matches that you don't want to watch.
There are going to be some highs and some lows.
Yeah.
Especially depending on who gets that 16th spot. Could really help or could very much hurt. It's funny because it's like, oh, Mayu Iwatani, she's here in the promotion. Obviously, the big match is with Utami.
Yeah.
But you sort of look at this list and you're like, she doesn't have that many interesting matchups.
No, like there's Miku Aono, Shozuki.
But I'm not exactly
Yuzuki.
like, oh, Mayu against Nagisa Nozaki. I can't wait. Please.
Yeah.
Like, oh, God. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But then the main event of that Korakuen Hall show was a 3-on-3 Marigold versus Marvelous. That continued. I have to say, I don't know what Marigold thinks they're getting out of this feud with Marvelous, but I have to say the thing that Marvelous is getting out of it is that Senka now is like one of the most notable Joshi wrestlers around.
Mm-hmm.
Like between this and the Vegas match with Aja Kong, like she feels like such a big deal in a way that like nothing, like this match sort of ended. Marigold won. They had a sort of super team with Mayu, Utami, and Seri. But it sort of ended, and I was like, man, I want to see more Senka. And I didn't think, oh my God, what a great victory for Mayu Iwatani beating, Takumi Iroha and 2 rookies. So I'm like, I'm happy for it because it gives us good matches. The matches was good, although I don't think as good as the 5 versus 5 that they had a couple months ago. So really enjoyed it. I'm just happy Marvelous is here because the roster is so thin.
Yeah.
That I don't know what else they would do. And I'm like, Marvelous, a lot of really good wrestlers. Takumi Iroha, really good. Their rookies are really good. So happy to have them here. But I think from a perspective wise, not necessarily from an in-ring result wise, I think this is much more help Marvelous than it has Marigold, along with Marvelous now getting on Wrestle Universe.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that this can help sort of springboard them, and I think it has been very helpful in putting these wrestlers who might not otherwise be seen or be seen all that often into more of a spotlight. So happy for that, and looking forward to more Senka.
Yeah, if Marigold's existence got us Marvelous getting on a bigger stage, you know what? It was all worth it.
In SEAdLINNG on June 17th, Makoto defeating Veni to win the Beyond the Sea title. An interesting result there, to say the least.
Yeah. Unexpected, but you know what? I'll give it a shot.
We'll see. Oz on June 8th had a tag team title match. Kohaku and Tsubasa Kuragaki, the champions, defeating Seiya Yano and Unagi Sayaka to retain the titles. Tokyo Joshi had a number of shows in the last 2 weeks. On the 14th, it was Sayuri Namba's Dream Come True, which was all celebrating Namba before she departs for Canada. The highlights of that for me were they had the Shrek versus Harada rounds match, which I thought was very fun. The match originally ended in about 15 seconds with Shrek choking out Harada until Namba came in the ring and screamed at them that she wanted to be able to walk the ring cards around at some point. So they restarted the match. The match ended with Namba in the ring doing the Tokyo Go dance as Shrek choked out Harada in the background again. And then the main event was Suzume and Mizuki taking on the Baby Devil team of Rika Devil, Yuki Devil, accompanied by Tori Devil. Another great heel unit, made-up heel unit in Tokyo Joshi. Match was fun and a good sort of fun farewell to Namba, although she wouldn't leave for another 8 days. In between, on the 21st, they are having qualifiers for the Princess Cup, a few spot in the Princess Cup. The first round matches, Palm Harajuku defeated Haruna Neko by forfeit because Neko tore her, I believe, her ACL or her MCL.
Ooh, that's no good.
And had a few other injuries, so the report is she will probably be out a while. Sort of a bummer because it feels like she just came back from her previous injury where she was out a while. So hopefully she gets well soon, but Palm Harajuku automatically moving on. Haru Kazushiro defeated Ren Konatsu. Shino Suzuki defeated Uda Takami, and Kaya Toribami defeated Chika Nanase. And then on the 22nd, just happened hours ago, on Namba's final show, Two more qualifiers. Wakana Uehara defeated Kira Summer, and Ivy Steele defeating Toga.
That's a surprise.
In a surprise, in really I would say the only surprising result of the first round. So we'll see.
Yeah, because you would think Toga's a lock for a tournament like that.
Kelly, I know that you watched from June 8th the Sendai Girls tag title match.
Yes, I did. Mika Iwata and Miyuki Takase successfully defended their titles against Unagi Sayaka and Yurika Oka. This was a very fun match. Like, there's few things as funny as watching Mika Iwata being faced with like a couple of goofballs and just being insulted at their existence. So that was very fun. Yurika Oka was the star of the match. She's so good. Just fighting as hard as she possibly can to get her tag titles back and still getting beat. Like, the fans really wanted her to win. Just an incredible babyface performance from her. I really liked this match. I went 4 1/4. Recommended.
There you go. And then on the 20th, Aya Sakurai made her first successful defense of the junior title against Yuna. That also happening in Sendai Girls. In Ice Ribbon, some not so good news. They had a Korakuen Hall show on the 21st. 285 people in attendance at that show. John from Wrestling Omakase put together a list of the lowest attended Korakuen Hall shows of the year. The only show less attended than the Korakuen Hall for Ice Ribbon on June 21st was the Ice Ribbon Korakuen Hall from March 29th, which had 263 people. So, I mean,
Not
Kelly,
great.
at this point, what do we even say about it? It's like, well, they're not doing
great.
well, and they continue to not do well, and nothing really is going well at all.
No. But they're still here somehow.
Yes. Will they close? Seemingly not.
Yeah,
But-
that's the crazy thing. Like, how are they still running? Is anyone getting paid?
I don't know. But on that Korakuen Hall show, Ancham and Yappy retained the tag titles against Akari and Kriya, and Manami Katsu retained the Ice Infinity title against Akane Fujita. So that was on that show. Diana had a show on June 15th. Risa Serra retaining the Diana title, facing off against Kaho Kobayashi. And in Wave, Catch the Wave continues. Who knows, maybe one of these episodes I'll come in with some Catch the Wave reviews, but it won't be this episode, unfortunately. So that is everything that happened in the last 2 weeks of Joshi. But what is coming up in Joshi? Stardom has 2 shows, one on July 4th, which is New Blood 23. And then on the 6th of July, they have a Korakuen Hall show. I don't believe anything has been officially announced for either of those shows, but we will keep our eyes peeled. Tokyo Joshi has a number of shows coming up, including on the 27th of June, Hype 3. It's back again. Nothing announced for it, but I'm sure it will be a memorable show. Whatever
Hype
happens.
is the Hyper Masao produce, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
The notorious Hyper Masao produce show happening on the 27th. On the 28th, Inspiration will come back. That card is Shoko Nakajima versus Ren Kanatsu. A 3-minute exhibition match. Aya Shimizu will face off against Yoshiko Hasegawa as she approaches retirement. Suzume and Ariso Endo, Daisy Monkey will team up to face Gabaji-chan and Mahiro Kiryu. Then there will be a semi-main event of Tehanma and Miyuki Takase facing off against Yoshiko Hasegawa and Kaya Toribami with special referee Nao Kikuta.
She's gonna get lured back.
It certainly seems like she's floating around a bunch of these shows, so we'll see. And then the main event, Mizuki and Miyu Watanabe will take on Haru Kazushiro and Uda Takami. On the 30th, there is a talkback about Hype 3, I think.
That's an odd thing to do, like, days later.
I guess they're going to talk about how everything was put together or something.
Because typically that's something you do immediately after the show.
Well, they might be very tired immediately after the show.
I mean, I suppose.
So that seems to be what's happening there. And then on July 5th, it will be at least some of the second round qualifiers for the Princess Cup. So a lot going on in Tokyo Joshi. Marigold has a show on June 28th. That will be the show where the Dream Star Grand Prix 2025 qualifier gauntlet will happen. A number of people in that match. And let me just say, Sanka, please win the match.
That would help that tournament so much.
Because there are a few people in that I would not prefer to watch over a long tournament setting.
Yeah.
Then they also have shows on the 5th and the 6th. I don't believe anything's announced for those yet. Of course, in Wave, Catch the Wave will continue. The finals aren't until the sort of middle end of July, so some more time with that. Kelly, what is coming up in ChocoPro?
On the 26th, they have a show. It's called Make at Ikusa, which, I don't know. That sounds like it's telling me to go poop there, but regardless. The main event of that one is a Super Asia title match. Mei Suruga will be defending the title against Sayaka Obihiro, and that's about it.
And that is everything coming up in the next 2 weeks of Joshi. So, Kelly, I throw it over to you for Kelly's Corner.
I have physical locations to recommend. In Chicago, yesterday I went down to do some comic hunting, hit up 2 shops that are like across the street from each other, essentially. One is the Howling Pages. That is mostly like small press indie stuff. And then Maximum Distractions, which is more mainstream, but the allure of that shop was the boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes of back issues to dig through. He was running 50% off sale on back issues. I must have dug through thousands of comics yesterday. It was a great time. We got into that store probably around 1, and when we left, I looked at my phone and it was 5:30, and I was not expecting it to have been that long. But really great time. If you're in the area and you like comics, definitely highly recommend both the Howling Pages and Maximum Distractions.
Well, there you go. A new type of recommendation from Kelly.
I actually went to a place.
Well, there you go. And that is all for us for this episode of Jumping Bomb Audio. But we will be back with you in 2 weeks' time. Until then, so long.
Goodbye, everybody.
Do you like wrestling trivia? Then check out the 5-star match game, the Pro Wrestling Quiz Show. I'm Joe Gagney. In every episode, I grill 3 contestants with 5 rounds of power-packed wrestling trivia. We have over 30 evergreen episodes in the archives covering WWE, AEW, Japan, Mexico, and much, 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 much more. Play along at home and check it out today.
If you're a lineman in charge of keeping the lights on, Grainger understands that you go to great lengths and sometimes heights to ensure the power is always flowing, which is why you can count on Grainger for professional-grade products and next-day delivery, so you have everything you need to get the job done. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.